Just a few years ago, I was in Israel driving away from the River Jordan. This was the Holy Land tour that It Is Written conducted a few years back. I'd been blessed to be able to baptize my own children in the River Jordan. And as we drove away from the Jordan, there were signs on what was something like a barbed wire fence. It was a pretty serious looking fence with some serious looking signs. And the sign said, "Danger, mines." Now, we were under no illusions. Nobody suggested that they may have been coal mines or copper mines that we were being warned about. It was clear these were landmines. And later, I did a little research and discovered that there were about 6,500 or 7,000 or so landmines in this relatively small area. There were buildings, I believe churches in that area. Of course, nobody could go there because the landmines would, of course, do what they're designed to do. I did read that some of those mines have been detonated. I don't know if they all have, but certainly some of them have. I can promise you that what nobody did, nobody asked the driver to stop so we could exit the bus, climb the fence, and wander around in the minefield. No one wanted to do that. Why? Because we had seen the warning sign, danger, mines. We took it seriously. We knew what to do when you see a sign like that. Now, I've not always been of such a disposition. Let me take you back rather more years. I was visiting my brother. He lived in Australia. I lived with him about this long. Don't be confused. I am from New Zealand. He was living in Australia. He has since repented and returned to New Zealand, but he was in Australia at the time. We lived in Sydney, New South Wales. His in-laws were holidaying in Queensland, about 1 million miles away. So we got in the car and we drove up there at Christmas time to spend some time with his in-laws. Now, together on Christmas Day, my brother, his wife, their 2 sons, and my brother's in-laws, and me, the 7 of us, walked down to the beach on what day? Christmas Day, December 25. Being Australia, particularly being Queensland, quite a little way up, it was hot. It's not the cold northern Christmas with the snow globes. It's a sunny southern hemisphere Christmas. And what you do on Christmas Day, particularly Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, you go to the beach. But on Christmas Day, we walked down to the beach. And we saw a sign that said danger. No, that was the other sign. This one said warning, warning. Ooh. The sign was about half the size of that screen. It was not a sign that you could miss even if you tried. Yellow letters surrounded by black. You couldn't miss this. Warning. And then the sign said, marine stingers are present. Marine stingers are present. Now, the marine stingers being spoken of were box jellyfish. They aren't especially big, but they are especially dangerous. In fact, I read about one species of box jellyfish where the expert said, and I quote, it was certainly one of the world's most venomous creatures. Warning, marine stingers, what? Present. Now, they're so dangerous that about 1 person dies in Australia from a box jellyfish every 2 years. Sharks, about 1 every year. 1 every 2 years. If you think, 1 every 2 years, that's not many, try telling that to the parents of the 14-year-old boy who recently died as the result of being stung by a box jellyfish. It's a great tragedy. These things are an absolute menace. You know, in Australia, they've got everything that'll kill you. Absolutely everything. Box jellyfish, sharks, spiders. Australia has 17 of the 10 deadliest spiders in the world. No joke. When I lived in Sydney, before you put your shoes on, you had to shake them out to make sure there were no spiders in there, because if you put your foot in there and there was a spider in there, you were heading to the emergency room. Venomous snakes, they got leeches and crocodiles. Did you read that story the other day? It's like a man bites dog story. Man on his farm, he's building a fence, but in a billabong, a pool of water, he did not know there was a saltwater crocodile. Saltwater crocodile. He's doing his, I was going to say he's doing his business, but he was getting about his work. He's doing his work, and this crocodile emerged and lunged at him and grabbed him by his foot. That's it, man. Crocodile, this is a big fella too. He started dragging him back. You know, they take you into the water and they put you in the death roll. It's over. But somehow the crocodile dragged him in such a way that his face got near the crocodile's face. So he bit the crocodile on its eyelid, like that. A modern day Crocodile Dundee. Bit the crocodile. The crocodile didn't know what happened to him. Let the man go. So he got up and ran. The crocodile got up and ran too, chased right after him. But he was fortunate enough to be able to outrun the crocodile. My advice for that brother, move to New Zealand. We don't have any of that. Nothing. They got it all in Australia. But one thing I'll say about Australia, maybe the only thing, one thing I'll say, they got beaches that go on for days and days and days. And we walked down to one of these beaches, golden sands, wide, long, deserted, and we looked at that beautiful, sparkling blue water, and we thought, oh, man. We noticed a lineup of windsurfers, and we thought, well, clearly somebody's been down here. It looked like some people had been swimming in the water. And it was right then that my brother's father-in-law, Socrates, I think his name was, spoke up and said, I listened to the radio, and the man on the radio said the box jellyfish haven't arrived yet. Now listen, the sign said, do not swim between October and May. I have a question for you. Is December between October and May? All right. If you consult your calendar, you will discover that December is certainly between October and May. If I had said smack bang in the middle, even though it wasn't, you would have understood the point. It is in between October and May. And we looked at the water, we looked at the sign, and here's the great sage of Queensland pronouncing, I listened to the radio. And that was all we needed. Shirts off, towels down, in the water we went. I went down and grabbed a windsurfer and took it out into the water. And, you know, my windsurfing skills were a little rusty by then, so I spent more time in the water than on the water. But it didn't matter because the box jellyfish hadn't arrived in the area yet. According to Plato or whoever it was, my brother's father-in-law with all the wisdom, it's okay. In we got. Now, I was so far out in the water that I did not hear my 5-year-old nephew scream. Ah! Now, he was right where the water and the sand met. He was in the shallow part of the shallow part. And a box jellyfish clamped right down on his right hand. Now, thank God it didn't get him on his chest, because if it had him that close to the heart, and thank God, too, that my brother was right there and started peeling this thing off. The little boy said, I don't want to die, Daddy. Imagine that. And my brother's running down the beach. He takes him, oddly enough, to the sign where there are bottles of vinegar, and you pour vinegar on, and that heals everything, evidently. We saw the sign, ladies and gentlemen. We read the sign, and we comprehended the sign. No problem at all. The problem is we ignored the sign. And my nephew was very nearly killed as a consequence. Friend of God, signs should be taken seriously. And there is a phenomenal chapter in the Bible, an entire chapter designed to impress us with that point. Jesus was speaking with his disciples, and he said to them as they admired the temple that the temple would be destroyed. And when I say destroyed, or he said destroyed, he meant destroyed. He said not one stone left upon another. And the disciples wondered about that. And it says in the Bible that they came to him privately, notice. This was of such significance that they dared not ask him about this publicly. It would rattle too many people. And so they came to Jesus privately, and they said, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world? What follows is one of the most remarkable passages in all of Scripture. Jesus explains at the same time as to his disciples at that time and to his disciples today, signs that simultaneously pointed to the destruction of the temple and to the end of the world. And what were some of those signs? Deception. Jesus said, be sure that nobody deceives you. He talked about people coming and saying, I am Christ, and deceiving many. Notice, many. This would not be isolated. Jesus said there would be massive deception down here at the close of time. Jesus talked about wars and rumors of wars. Oh, we know all about that. Nation rising against nation, kingdom rising against kingdom. You know, I'm sure there are many conflicts taking place around the world today. Tell me where they are. Can you name one? Israel. All right, name another. Ukraine. Name another. Exactly. Even though there are many conflicts in the world today in which 1,000 people or more a year are killed. That's a significant conflict raging around the world today. You didn't think of Myanmar. You didn't think of Ethiopia. You didn't think of Sudan. You didn't think of Colombia, where our good friend Robert was. You didn't think of Afghanistan. You didn't say Somalia or the Congo or Nigeria or Yemen or Haiti. All of these are real trouble spots around the world while we sit here in comfort tonight. Jesus is trying to get our attention. Wars and rumors of wars. Jesus talked about famines and pestilences. Pestilences, ladies and gentlemen, after what we just went through as a society, have mercy. And I'm going to digress here and take a little risk, and I will tell you that COVID was among other things, an opportunity for us to learn something about ourselves. Number one, while we are busy snoozing, snoring in the church, the devil can see to it that the world changes just like that. It was days, in truth, weeks, a few short weeks, and the entire world was focusing on one issue, just like that. And we got people among us, I don't know how these prophecies are going to be fulfilled. How can that possibly happen? You don't need to know how. The Bible says it will, and we just saw how the whole world can flip just like that. In moments, we went from stone cold asleep to alert and ready and at our battle stations. Happened like that. And the other thing is this. What did COVID do to your church? Now, if you go to church where I go to church, we got through it okay. Thank God. Blessing of God. But other churches split. Other churches, there were people at each other's throats. Other churches, they couldn't figure out how to get along together. They wouldn't try to rationalize or reason or collaborate or cooperate. It was an opportunity for people to see that there's a lot of hateful people in the church. And I'm not worrying about what side you're on, this or that. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying the issue came and shook us, and we got shaken. Wow, we're not nearly as good as we thought. And we think somehow the mark of the beast is going to come, and we will confront that soberly and righteously and godly. Really? And the mark of the beast is going to shake us a whole lot harder than COVID did. Friend of God, if you have run with the footmen and they have wearied you, then how are you going to contend with horses? And if in the land of peace wherein you trusted they wearied thee, how will you be in the swelling of the Jordan? Let's understand this was a test for us, brothers and sisters. This was an opportunity to see what's in our hearts. Not worried about who's right and who's wrong. By the way, when you're right, you should be sweet and gracious. And when you're wrong, you ought to be this. Anyway, I was getting off track, and I told you I was. Famines, pestilences, earthquakes. It is not rational that we could fail to see the fulfillment of Jesus' words taking place in our midst. Not rational. And Jesus said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many will wax cold. Because of the prevalence of sin, because sin will abound, because of the abundance of it, people will be affected to the point that their love will grow cold. The Greek word for abound is essentially our word plethora, a large, excessive amount. One translation says, most people's love will grow cold. How in the world does a person take a gun and shoot up a nightclub full of revelers? It's because their heart has grown cold because of the prevalence of sin. Sin isn't so sinful to us anymore. How does somebody drive someone off the road or pull out a gun and shoot someone because they were driving so slow? We have been so marinated by sin and evil that our hearts are getting hard. Come on now. God's looking for a people who will be countercultural. God's looking for a people whose hearts will beat in harmony with his heart, who won't drink from the same cisterns and fountains as everybody else is drinking. Ladies and gentlemen, we are to be reborn, amen, so that down here in the end of time, angels will look on and sinners will look on. The universe will look on and say, look what God can do in the heart of a once wicked individual. Now, Jesus then spoke about the glorious nature of his return, coming back in the clouds with power and great glory. Then the warnings become less signs related, and they have more to do with how one relates to Jesus' return and to the signs of his return. Jesus said, when you see these things happening, you can know that my return is near, even at the doors. You can know you won't know just when it's going to happen, but you can know that it is near. The last 10 verses of this pivotal, this seminal chapter are an appeal to be ready, starting with the words, watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doth come. In that passage, Jesus speaks of a faithful and a wise servant, and of an evil servant. The faithful one, the wise one, is waiting and watching. And the others, Jesus says, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him. All of these signs, all of these events, and the sum total of it is, Jesus is coming back soon. Can you say amen tonight? He's coming back soon. And there's a passage in Matthew 24 that helps us understand the big temptation we face. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, in Noah's day, they knew the flood was coming. They knew, at least they heard the warning. So the fact that you and I can say wars, rumors of wars, famines and pestilences and false cries and blah, 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 it doesn't prove too much. All it proves is that we can read the Bible. Even the devil can do that. The Bible says he not only believes, but he trembles. But Jesus is coming back soon, and so how do we relate to that? Well, there is a passage in Matthew 24 that helps us understand the big temptation that we all face. Maybe those of us who are here tonight face this temptation a little more acutely than many others might. You'll see what I mean when I read this to you. Starting verse 36. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Now, if you've heard me speak in an evangelistic series, or Wes, or Eric, or Pastor Costa, or most evangelists, then you will say, yes, I understand what it was like in Noah's day, because what does it say in Genesis? Every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. That's what Noah's day was like. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not only what Jesus had in mind when he said, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. You see, if it was just wickedness that characterized Noah's day, we could take refuge in our righteousness. We could hide behind our good deeds and our prayers and our tithes and offerings. If Jesus' message was simply, they were wicked in Noah's day, then we could be like the Pharisee in the parable who said of the publican, Lord, I thank you I am not as other men are, such as this publican. But Jesus didn't say that. Undoubtedly, certainly, they were wicked. Wickedness characterized Noah's day. And no question about that. But Jesus said, as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day Noah entered the ark. Jesus says in Noah's day, God destroyed the world, whole world. Only this many people survived the flood. Destroyed in that flood were grandmothers and strapping young men and college students and businessmen and women. There were entrepreneurs and healthcare workers. There were young and old, and there were black and white. And they were destroyed in the flood, all destroyed. And what was it that characterized Noah's day? Well, if we read the words that Jesus just spoke, we see that in the face of impending destruction, these people were simply living life as usual. That was the problem. There was a crisis, and they ignored the crisis. The times had changed, but their approach to living had not. They just carried on doing what they usually did. It was a little bit like the Sabbath afternoon in the Bradshaw household a while back, when we decided, when someone decided we should take a walk. We'll do that in the afternoon. You can't waste a perfectly good Sabbath afternoon. But somebody, a doom merchant, said, what about the stormy weather? What's wrong with kids today? I said, stormy weather? Yeah, look at the weather, all that green, it's heading our direction. There are storms coming? Yes. We better go quickly then. Jumped in the car, drove to the Sabbath Trail on Bauxite Ridge behind Southern. Now, the Sabbath Trail, it's a thing of magnificence, and it's modeled after the Sabbath Trail behind the Washington, New Hampshire church. It's beautiful. So we head to the Sabbath Trail, and man, the weather's not looking good. But I see no evidence of a storm happening at that very moment. I said we should hustle. No point going too slowly, because who knows what that weather might do. We got about halfway around, and we heard a tornado siren. Not the kind of weather you want to be out in. Tornado siren had kicked off. And we looked up, and the rain was coming, except this time it wasn't rain. It was like they were just, whoever they are, pouring buckets of water out of the sky. It didn't hit us as raindrops, it hit us as rivers. It ran down our back. We looked like drowned rats, soaked to the bone. We were running along the trail. The trees were waving more violently than the trees you saw in the video from Dominican Republic earlier. I thought, oh man, this could be where we meet our end. Trees could come crashing down. All we knew to do was hurry up and get out of there as quickly as we could. Now I want to tell you, going on a Sabbath afternoon walk is a perfectly good idea. Choosing to do so when the weather is unpredictable, where there may be tornadoes in the area. I mean, there are worse ideas, but not many. And so someone, did I tell you it was Melissa who wanted to go on that walk? Did I tell you? Her idea. You see, Melissa thought that we could do what we usually did without taking into account the changing conditions. And that was the problem in Noah's day. The forecast was for rain. Now, they were less interested in the forecast and more interested in their own plans. They wanted to do what they wanted to do, which in the case of eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage, a perfect impending storm. And he wasn't a weatherman, he was a prophet. God's message was, a storm is coming, relentless in its fury. And ladies and gentlemen, that is verily God's message to us today. Now you wonder how they could have got so far away from God. Well, you say, it was 1,600 years. Yes. But there was one fellow who was alive when Adam was alive, and therefore would have heard Adam's stories and the account of the fall and the warnings and the message of the love of God. Yes. Enosh was also alive when Methuselah was alive. Methuselah died the year of the flood. So there was 1 degree of separation between the flood and Eden. And yet, when God went looking for people to save, he could only find 8, and some of them were of dubious moral character. Dubious. So we went from face-to-face communion with God to the planet being destroyed in just 8 generations. How do you get so distracted in such a short period of time? 4,500 years before cell phones, they were distracted. Imagine what they'd be like today. We don't have to imagine, do we? What can be wrong, friend, with eating and drinking? Both are a gift from God. Now, we are reminded, though, in the Bible, whether therefore you eat or drink or whatever you do, be sure that you do it to the glory of God. That's right. And they went on without the glory of God in mind. Do it, sure, but under the aegis of the Holy Spirit. What in the world is wrong with marrying and giving in marriage? Oh, nothing at all. Hebrews affirms marriage in the strongest possible way. Marriage is honorable, the Bible says. That word honorable, sometimes the Greek word is translated precious. Imagine God saying marriage is precious. He's not against that. But the focus was on the wedding plans, getting the invitations out, planning for the wedding reception, and doing all that, while keeping God way out of the picture. Now listen, friend of God, I'm not going to give you too much credit for rolling up into church on the right day. It doesn't take a great deal of brain power to figure out which day the Sabbath is. And it doesn't take any moral backbone to be in church on the Sabbath. All kind of people show up in church on the Sabbath. But the times have changed. I don't believe, and I don't believe you believe, that God wants us to roll on just like we always have. Yes, if you're a young person, God wants you to get ahead. He wants you to excel, but he wants you to do that while God is guiding you so that you're happy to let go of this and take hold of that. You're happy to take a left turn instead of a right turn. You'll press on even if there's a challenge ahead of you because God is leading you. Oh, it's right to get to that time in your life where you're planning for retirement. Man, now we can do the travel we've always wanted to do. See those places work was so demanding and we didn't take the. It is right to make plans like that if that's how you're wired. But if that's what's consuming your life, then what is right just got all wrong. And you understand, I'm not picking on any of those things. I'm just using them as examples of how what's good and healthy can suddenly become unhealthy. It's like having a child and raising the child, and before long you're spoiling the child, even though you know you shouldn't, and the child ends up with no backbone, no morality. And why? Oh, pray for my child part. You should have prayed for your child instead of spoiling your child. Friend, we are living in times right now where God demands our attention. And he wants our hearts, and he wants to do more and not less of the great work that he's been doing. Jesus was not getting on the antediluvians because of their eating, drinking, or marrying or any of that. This was just a catch-all term. Jesus is saying in Noah's day, people were not focused anymore on God's will. The things of life had overtaken them. Distractions and amusements and fun and even the very meaningful things that God had given to his children had superseded the importance of God in their lives. He was no longer the priority. And Jesus was saying, the great danger is that this is exactly what's going to happen down in the end of time. This is the worst possible time to be distracted. Society is crumbling. The family unit is disintegrating. I don't say this to be critical, but I'm pointing out the devil has been successful. 30% of families are now single-parent families. Again, not criticizing single parents. God bless those who are working so hard and doing all they can to raise their kids in the arms of Jesus. But it seems that society is not cognizant of the danger in which we are, not just where we're headed. We have arrived. We are there now. I say this frequently, but remember when you were 40 years ago, 35 years ago, you said, man, the stuff they're teaching in the universities, where is it heading? Well, we know now. We know now it was hitting right here. And the crazy stuff that's going on in the world today, sharp decline in marriage rates, sharp increase in the amount of people cohabiting, mental health statistics are truly alarming. And you know I'm not saying that to be critical. Harvard recently stated that half of all people in the world will develop a mental health disorder in their lifetime. Now, if I said half the people in Detroit or New York City or San Francisco or Dallas or Chicago, oh yeah, it's rough in those big cities. They're saying the whole world. Bucolic landscapes and quaint villages and country settings and postcard-like picture-perfect places. All of them. Half of all people. Mental health disorder. Depression and addiction are on the rise. 15% of Americans say they've had a dead relative communicate with them. That's better than 1 in 7. That's astonishing. More than half of American adults say they have been visited in some way by a dead relative. These are alarming statistics. And you think we can just go on, business as usual, life as usual, church as usual? Oh, friend of God. You know, I was talking to a pastor the other day, and he was in town for Thanksgiving, and he told me about the town in which he lives. And I said, well, how many churches are there in it? Are the churches active? No. But our church, he said, very, very evangelistically focused. It's a community with great needs. They're doing all kinds of community programs. There's another one, but ours is the outreach-oriented one. I want you to think about that. What, pray tell, can the other one be? Can you help me with that? I would say ripe for closure, because they're just cumbering the ground. One church is outreach focused, one ain't. That means one has a reason to exist, and the other doesn't know why it's even there at the corner of First and Main or wherever they might be. Come on now, we simply cannot be like that. We just can't. Jesus is coming back soon. I understand you can't always change a congregation, but you can be the change. You can't always get a church on board. Woman contacted me. Pastor, I mailed out some Bible study enrollment cards. It has written mega mailers in my town. I told the pastor, we're going to have a whole lot of Bible studies to do soon. And he said, no, we're not interested. We don't want to do that. Poor lady, she got 130 cards back and she didn't quite know where to begin, but she had a lot on her hands. You can't change the church, but you can let God change you. You can't, there's no point belly aching about other people. I'm not doing that. But the reality is there's a whole lot of snoring going on and not nearly enough activity taking place. The Bible warns us, you talk about signs, Daniel 12 and verse 1. There is coming a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even at that same time. And if you think that's 500 years from now, you got to get your head out of the sand. We are butting right up against that time, my friend. If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God. We are on the verge of stupendous events. While we live our lives and get an education and earn money and raise our kids and take our holidays and go to work and do our thing, we can't afford to forget precisely where in the stream of history we are. And so, ladies and gentlemen, where are we headed? The warnings are everywhere. And you can be like the Bradshaw clan who saw the sign. You get in that water, it could kill you. Stay out. We said, let's go. What in the world were we thinking? And one day, we will look back on today and we'll say, what in the world were we thinking? We didn't realize what an opportunity we had to be active for the Lord. We didn't realize what an opportunity we had to capitalize on the interest that is in society now, as so many people are asking questions and so many people have concerns. And so many people are just flat out worried and don't know where to turn. Then we'll look back at today as the golden era of evangelism. Friend of God, I cannot think that we would expect things are going to get any easier. I don't think they will. You read where the servant of the Lord said, we're going to look back and rue that we did not do in a time of ease what we're not able to do in a time of difficulty. Now, we can vacillate, we can hesitate, and we can procrastinate, but it's too serious a time to do that. It's time to regenerate and reconsecrate. Ladies and gentlemen, it is late in the history of the world, too late to be lukewarm. We are warned directly in Revelation chapter 3. God says to the church in earth's last days, and friend, when Jesus spoke to the church of Laodicea, don't you read that and say, that's them liberals, or that's them cranky conservatives. The church, that would be everybody, including you and me. He spoke to that church and said, you believe that you are rich and increase with goods and that you have need of nothing, but you don't realize that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked, and that's what's concerning. They don't know. They think they're okay, but they're not. How can we be fine when soul winning is something we dabble in? Think about, pray about. God bless the missionaries. Yes, yes, yes. And they would be blessed if you joined them. Maybe in Timbuktu, or maybe just right there in your own backyard where God has you blooming right now. When we have families who want to see their children educated but don't seem too concerned with seeing their children saved. Oh, that's not love. That's not love. Do anything for my kids except point them away from the world and point them towards Jesus. Friend of God, I believe this is opportunity time for us because it isn't too late. There's a parable in the Bible about the 11th hour workers. These are like day laborers. And somebody goes down and hires one at the beginning of the day. I'll give you a penny if you work all day for me. Yeah, I'll take that. Goes down later in the day. I'll give you the same if you work for the rest. Yeah, I'll take that. He gets down there with an hour left in the workday. And there are some folks standing idle in the marketplace. And Jesus says, time for you to get to work. Now, they missed 11 hours of productivity, but it wasn't too late. They went for it. And they said, we'll work for you. We'll take the wage, sure, but we will work for you. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, isn't too late. It's not too late for a congregation, a conference. It's not too late for a family, for you. And you know what Wes said earlier? This was not flippant. His mother with stage 4 cancer decided to go do something for Jesus. And notice, I don't believe she preached an evangelistic meeting. Can't tell you how many Bible studies she gave, but she did what she could where she was with what she had. That's what God is asking of us. Don't you think we could move this thing forward if a few more of us put our shoulder to the wheel? Don't you think? Haven't you ever been pushing a car stuck in mud or snow or something or other, and you push in and it's like not moving this, and along come 2 more people, and they push and it just moves as though by a miracle. All we needed was more folks. That's where we are with soul winning right now. We just need a few more people just to join up with others. Lean on the back of that car. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Give what you got. Move the thing forward. Come on now, our churches can move forward. We are going to tell you tomorrow about an evangelistic outreach in a certain conference that it is written led earlier this year. They came back to us and said it was the most successful evangelistic enterprise in the history of the conference. And I'm reluctant to share that because I'm thinking surely that's somebody's rose-tinted glasses that are being looked through. Surely that's someone's, not jaundiced view, but no, they said, no. As far as we can tell, nothing like it. Well, why was that? I can tell you why. Because people got involved. People put their hand up. People stood up. People moved forward. People acted. They prayed. They supported. Imagine what we can do if we just say, count me in. Just count me in. None of us can do everything. Just count me in. Oh, I know it's a tough world right now. I know it is. I know there's a lot of cynicism. I know there's a lot of criticism. There's a lot of atheism and agnosticism. There's all of that. And I know that sometimes it may feel like you're the only one who's even interested. That's not the case. But were it so, that would be okay. because God can do something great in you right where you are. Who is the person just recently? We challenged people. Allow God to do a work. That's right. There we were out in Idaho, and it was on Friday night in a sort of a rally that we were having, appealing to people. Tell God you are willing. Just tell him, Lord, count me in, and I'll do something for you. A man came to us the next day. He said, I prayed that prayer last night. Prayed that prayer. And while I was outside the church, along came a man walking down the street. Looked like he was not all well, in some distress. I spoke to him. He was having problems. I said, we got the answer to your problems. We have a community service center. Took him in, fixed him up, ministered to him, encouraged him in the Lord, prayed for him. He said, I didn't know that I could tell God I'm in and have him put me to work so quickly. The person who was most blessed was him. And then undoubtedly the more people that he will share Christ with. A few years ago in London, England, driving from Windsor Castle, so that's west of London, you know, I saw a sign for Runnymede. I'd never been there, even though I had lived in London. I never visited Runnymede. Very historic place, literally on the banks of the River Thames. That's where the Magna Carta was signed in 1215. A very significant document. Some would say it impacts the freedoms that we have today. Some would say it doesn't, but it's a great story anyway. So I went to Runnymede just to say I've been where the Magna Carta was signed. But while I got there, saw a sign, John F. Kennedy Memorial. That's funny that there would be a memorial to JFK here at Runnymede. So I trudged through the muddy ground. It was England. Got to a gate, John F. Kennedy Memorial, and I started up up a pathway of 50 low ascending steps. 50. Now we know why there's 50 U.S. states. Got to the top, and there's a granite monument with some inscriptions on it in honor of President John F. Kennedy. It was erected not long after he was assassinated. And when I found out about this 1 acre patch of ground 20 miles west of London is American soil. The government of Great Britain gave that soil to the United States. Now that doesn't mean you can go live there. You don't need a passport to get on and off. But it's American ground, owned by the government of the United States. So that's interesting. Here in Great Britain, what is it, 33 million acres or some such thing. 1 acre of it is American soil. Britain, the size of Kansas. 1 acre is American soil. In the midst of a world held in the enemy's grasp, your heart can belong to Jesus. No one has to stumble their way through this world. No one. In the middle of a world that's heading downstream to oblivion, you can be that acre of ground that's standing for Christ, letting the gospel shine. You can be active in your faith, doing something special for Jesus. Yes, of course, living for Christ requires some faith and persistence. It's why Revelation 14 says, here is the patience of the saints. The idea is patient endurance, as when Jesus said, those that endure till the end shall be saved. But friend of God, it's your privilege down here in the end of time to make your heart available to Jesus so he can do something for you and in you. Not just for you, but in you. That you can be a channel of blessing that'll go to the entire world. I remember being a kid, getting sick, and I couldn't go and play football on Saturday. I was 7 years old. Couldn't go play. Had to sit in the car on the sideline, my mother beside me. I'm watching my teammates running around on the field out there. We lost that day. Only game of the season we lost. I wasn't playing. Draw your own conclusion. I learned that day it's a whole lot better to be out on the field than standing on the sideline. And that's true with faith. You want to be out there on the field. I mean, there's David. He's standing before a giant. People were absolutely terrified. They figured that giant would break him in pieces and feed him to the fowls of the air. But because David went, he had the testimony that we still talk about today. I don't know what the others thought when Peter said, I'll get out of the boat and walk on water. But if he had not, he would have been deprived of that remarkable opportunity. Listen, we don't have to live half-baked, humdrum spiritual lives, picking in the ground like a chicken, when God wants us to be soaring on eagle's wings. You don't want to content yourself with a half-baked spiritual life or a dull, immobile Christian witness. And you can live the good life, a heart that's vibrant because Jesus lives in you. A faith that's contagious, that you want to share with others, a faith that you do share with others. And that as you do, lights come on in somebody else's eyes and they take hold of Jesus, and they'll never be the same again because they've heard you or saw you and learned from you, caught it from you. Oh, friend of God, we see the signs. We know where we are. We're in a world that's in crisis right now. You heard somebody say you should never let a good crisis go to waste. I was 15 years old, 10th grade. To get in the 11th grade, you have to pass examinations. If you don't pass, you repeat. You can do a couple of years in the 11th grade and several years in the 10th grade, a couple of classes in either grade if it works out that way, but you got to pass in order to get to the 11th grade. That's how it was back in the day before they just gave you a certificate for competing. You either pass or you don't, buddy. You will never believe this, but as a child, I was a bright boy. I don't know, I know, but it's true. I know. And they put me in the class for bright kids at high school, and that was not a good idea. And I learned to mess around. I really wasted my time in high school. And I realized this when I sat down to do my 10th grade English exam. That's always the first one of the 10th grade exam. So all the students were in the music room in school taking this exam. And I sat there and looked at that English paper and realized, because I figured I got an advantage because I speak the language. Wasn't helping. I wrote my name clearly, hoping that would get me a point. To pass, all you needed was 50%. So it was pretty generous. But I looked at that English paper and I realized that my 10 years of formal education had brought me to the point of failure. I'd had every opportunity to excel, but instead I ate my lunch and played rugby and goofed around. And I thought, man, that opportunity I've had, and I flushed it away. By some miracle of grace, and yes, I prayed my way through that test, I scored about 57. My friends, no smarter than me, were scoring high 80s and low to mid 90s. I scraped by in the 50s. Goes to show you what a waste of my education to that point I had made. I just wonder if someone right now realizes in his or her heart that if the roll was called up yonder, now you might look at your Christian experience and say, I've wasted so much time. Even if in your heart of hearts you are ready to be saved, maybe you look back on your life and say, there are opportunities that I've squandered. Oh, I don't want to get neurotic about this because no one can do everything and be on point all the time, but I wonder if you've missed a little bit. I wonder if you've missed opportunities to develop as a Christian, as a Christian. And then I wonder if we've just passed on by where we might have invested ourselves or our means in soul winning and evangelism. I wonder if we've been just a little too standoffish. Have we put ourselves out there for Jesus? I'm promising you, when Jesus comes back, not a one of us is going to say, oh, thank God I did so much for Jesus. I think the most of us are going to think about the opportunities that we've let go, things we've not done. Or we don't want to live without regret, nor do we need to live without regret. Why don't we let tonight be a turning point, if it needs to be a turning point? And surely it does not for everyone, but if it does need to be a turning point, why don't we ask that God would turn us around tonight? Light a fire in our hearts. Maybe we could say like Jeremiah that his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones. Wonder if tonight we can pray the prayer that says, Lord, no more humdrum. No more bumbling along. No more sleepwalking. Can we pray that God would bring us to life? The warning signs tell us life must be different. The danger is that we go on doing everything we've done just like we've always done it. Left God in the background instead of putting him out front. Can we change that? Can we change that with a prayer? I think we can. Pray with me now. Please bow your head. Father in heaven, tonight we pray. Energize us. Give us grace to take this thing called faith seriously. Oh, don't let us be asleep, Lord, but alive, energized, effervescent, because the gospel has taken hold of us, and we find no greater joy than sharing the gospel with somebody else. We'll leave it to you to communicate with us the how. But we just want to say, here I am, send me. Listen, if that's your prayer tonight, can you raise your hand? Would you do that even if you're at home? Lift up your hand and say, Lord, my prayer is, here am I, send me. I'm not asking you how good you are. I'm not talking about how educated or how capable you are. How willing are you? Are you willing enough to say, here I am, send me? Lord, see our hands and our hearts and hear our prayer. We pray it tonight gratefully, confidently, yet humbly. And we pray it asking that things would never be the same again. Let it be, we ask you in Jesus' name. Please say, amen.